Hello, we're going to get started in about 5 minutes. I'm Rebecca Smith. I'm looking forward to giving a little more information about the PerformHappy community and answering any of your questions. So hang on, you can grab yourself a cup of tea and I will be on and ready to go in 5 minutes. Right. Hello, my name's Rebecca and I am super excited that you guys are here to ask me some questions. Just wanted to show you my smiling face, and then I'm going to get my slides up. I'll show you a little bit about the Perform Happy community, and then I will open it up for questions. So here is my little presentation that just gives you the basic. This will be a really quick presentation. If you guys have questions, I'm happy to hang out as long as possible to answer them. So first of all, a little background on me. I am a former competitive gymnast. I competed up to level 7, and then I became what we like to lovingly call a head case, got afraid of going backwards. I had a hard time balancing school and gym and life, and it got to be too much pressure and I couldn't handle it and I backed out. Looking back, I think if I would have had some tools to manage time, to manage fear, to manage social life, who knows how far I could have gone. And I never fell out of love with gymnastics. I immediately started coaching at 15 and coached for 15 years up to level 9. I love gymnastics. Gymnastics is my life. And eventually I went and got my master's in sports psychology. I've been working as a high performance coach specifically with gymnasts, but I also have a lot of experience working with other individual sports like swimming, golf, tennis, etc., as well as team sports, and working with captains on leadership. So most of my research is on fear and flow, which are kind of two opposite ends of the spectrum. Flow that's like when you're in the zone, when everything falls into place and you're doing your absolute best. You're not nervous, you're not self-conscious, you're not even really aware that you exist. You are completely merged with your sport. And that is one of the most enjoyable, incredible experiences you'll ever have. And being an athlete, you're predisposed to having more experiences like that. But it takes certain characteristics, which is what I strengthen. And then fear, this is something that I know intimately. I was the kid on the beam who would stand there and think I was going to go and think I was going to go, and then I just couldn't go backwards. I couldn't make myself go. Even though I had done it, I had competed it, I couldn't go. And so when coaches say, just go for it, I get it. It's not so easy. And there's a lot of research on why that is and how to rebuild confidence. And that is what I specialize in. So the Perform Happy community, obviously you've heard about it because you're here. I'm going to tell you basically what it involves, and you can decide if it's right for you. So some of the other research that I've consulted is this piece on the effects of goal setting on the fear of failure in young elite athletes. And the bottom line is, fear of failure makes athletes choke. Fear of failure also causes mental blocks. I mean, there's more to it than that, but this is one of the major things that holds athletes back, is that fear of failure and trying to be perfect. What I've learned, and what research also shows, is that fear of failure can be overcome. Mental toughness can be built and strengthened. And some of the main things that are necessary are awareness. You have to know what your thoughts are doing so that you can start to control them. You have to know what works for you before you can choose what works for you mentally. Also, accountability and community are key to build and maintain mental toughness. That is why I've come up with this community, because this is a way that, I can't sit one-on-one with people every week for the rest of your life. I wish I could, but I can't. So what I want to set up, or what I have set up, is a way to continue to build mental toughness and have accountability without the commitment of one-on-one sessions, every single week. So this is what my experience shows as a high performance coach, having worked with a ton of athletes. The best athletes train their body and their mind, flat out. It's not that they just come naturally mentally tough. It's that they make time to train their minds so that they can allow their bodies to do the work. And often when I'm working one-on-one with clients, I notice that it's like one awareness, one perspective shift that can unblock an athlete and unlock flow. Sometimes it's just, that there's a story we carry around like, whatever. Anyway, we can get into it, but it's almost always something simple. So that's where I come in, is helping you figure out what that perspective shift needs to be for you to unlock flow. I've also discovered that athletes can overcome mental blocks. Sometimes it feels completely hopeless, and I've been in that hopeless place, but I've also watched numerous athletes go from not doing a skill for months or years, and then all of a sudden they rebuild their confidence and they start doing it again. And finally, everybody's different. So I could say, all right, everyone, if you're nervous, you need to breathe. And that might work for, I don't know, 20% of the people. Just like 20% of people respond when coaches say, just go for it. Not everybody responds to the same things. So what I offer is a varied experience where I give you all of my tools, and then I help you. I hold your hand and tell you which tools you need to use to get your flow happening. And on to the next. So what is PerformHappy? It's a community, first of all. So there's a series of forums that one of them is the Ask Rebecca. That's where you can ask me unlimited questions, and I will give you my exact experience. I will respond in the best way that I possibly can. I'll direct you to the tools that you'll find in another forum, the Mental Toughness Tools Forum. There's a section where we post our goals and action plans. Now this one I'm super excited about because we're gonna all get on track to have certain goals in place. And this was the main thing that article, that research on overcoming the fear of failure, it talks about a very specific way of setting goals. It's not difficult, it's just very specific and consistent. And so if you get in with us, I'm gonna lead you through that process. And then there's also courses for parents, courses for athletes, and it's continuously growing because anytime one of my members has an issue that I don't have a tool for, I create a tool for you. So I make sure that everybody in my membership has exactly what they need. And if it's not in there, I make it, and I make it a huge priority. So another really exciting reason why you'd want to get in now is that I'm starting a fear training series on February 1st. This is going to be a minimum of 6 weeks of specific trainings that essentially take you through a 6-session package, what I would do with a one-on-one client who comes to me who's experiencing some fear. So they're maybe blocked on a skill, or they've had an injury and they're coming back. What I go through is all of the different techniques that I use with clients one-on-one, but you get it in a group setting. So this way you can get all of the information. You can also ask me questions as we go. And I'm really excited about this because this is my specialty. So it's a way to kind of get more people going the way that my one-on-one clients have been able to. And so here's some of the tools. There's breathing exercises, ways to neutralize negativity, exercises to overcome fear and skill loss, improving resilience, getting motivated, improving focus, overcoming anxiety, imagery, goal setting, you name it, we address it. If it has to do with your mind and performance, there are tools for you. And courses for parents, like I mentioned. So any parents out there who are listening, this is the first place I have parents start. And there are a couple ways to join. You can either be a parent who's joining, who's going to be helping your child learn and hold your child accountable, or you can be an athlete who's going to do it on your own. Either way, there are 2 different tracks. So there's something for everybody. And what's next here? The mobile app. So this is what most of the athletes use most often, and also parents. If you're sitting at practice or you're waiting in the bleachers, you can pull this up and watch a training and watch an exercise. You can do a meditation or a visualization while you're falling asleep. There's a mental toughness log. So everything that I teach, you get to take with you. And the most important thing, I think, what I've heard from my members is that you get access to me. So I'm going to help you create a personal plan. Basically, you come to me and say, this is what's happening. And then I will tell you what to do next. Once you've done that, you let me know how it went, and I'll tell you what to do next. And I will personally guide you through your process of building mental toughness at your own pace. And then there's also live training. So every month there's a parent Q&A, and there will be regular athlete trainings as well. So we're gonna have a weekly training for 6 weeks. If that's what members want, I will continue doing weekly trainings. If members want it bi-weekly, great. If you want it monthly, so that's the thing about it, is it's continuously growing and changing to benefit exactly who is in it. So also, if you can't make a live training, everything I ever do will be recorded in the training vault, and you can go back and find it when you need it. So this is what the investment is. It's $39 a month or $3.99 a year. This ends tonight, so I'm going to close the doors tonight so that I can get in with the first 30. I think we have 3 spots left. There are 30 people who are going to go in and sign up and do the fear training together and do our goal setting together. And then once that's over, tonight when we close the doors, I'm going to raise the prices. So it'll be $4.99 a year and $49 a month, but I'm not going to reopen doors probably until May, because I want to make sure and get, a really solid group who are building mental toughness and seeing results in their sport. So if you want in, now is the time. And now you guys can go ahead and use the chat box to put in any questions that you have. And meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that, I will go through a couple of the frequently asked questions. Who is it for? So who is it for? Really anybody who is serious about their sport. If you're thinking about competing in college or you want to compete at a national level, I recommend starting as soon as possible building the foundation of mental toughness, because when you look at the Olympians and you look at national level competitors, the difference in skill level is minuscule. The person who's got gold and the person who's got silver, it's not about, who trained harder, who wants it more. It's who is more mentally tough. That is who it comes down to. It's for people who know that their mindset can be improved and really want to step things up a notch. For athletes who want a mental edge over the competition. If you keep getting in third or second and you want first, this could be the edge that gets you there. Also, parents who are frustrated and don't know how to help your athlete, this will give you some really good insights. Also, if you're a parent, you can come to me and say, I don't know what to say to my kid. She's melting down at a meet. What do I do? And I will let you know what to do. So it's guidance, whether you're an athlete or a parent. I can help you figure out the best way to navigate the ups and downs of sport. It's for people age 7 and up. So I don't recommend it for anybody under 7, just because the trainings might be a little bit sophisticated. But the average age is probably, somewhere between 12 and 15. But everybody is welcome. If you are interested in building mental toughness, there's something for you. This is for people who want to be happy, successful, and satisfied, and people who want to know that they haven't left anything on the table, that they've really invested as much as possible in their sport experience. This is not for people who are not committed to improve or who are unwilling to be uncomfortable. So if you're afraid of being uncomfortable, I don't recommend it, because there's some things that I teach that will make you move out of your comfort zone. I mean, that's kind of the whole point, is you move out of your comfort zone and therefore your comfort zone expands. But if you're not willing to do that, then this is not maybe the place for you. Other frequently asked questions are about the refund policy. So if you're not sure, but your gut is like, yeah, this could really help me, join us, because 30 days, if you join us for the first month and you're like, no, I'm not really getting anything out of this, I will give you your money back. I don't want anybody giving me their money and feeling unsatisfied. And I'm also very confident that what I have to offer is valuable. So if that's, if you're not sure, check it out. And if you're not happy, I'll give you your money back. What's in the training vault? So I mentioned that already. It's got a bunch of different things: videos, exercises, worksheets, courses. A lot of them are video trainings. So it's essentially like what I do when I sit across from an athlete one-on-one, where I'll say, I'll walk you through a visualization, or I'll help you figure out what your thoughts are doing to your body. So those sorts of things. What if I don't have a mental block? A lot of people think that you have to have a quote unquote mental block in order to need mental toughness training. But no, absolutely not. I've worked with people who are already naturally super tough, and I help sharpen what's already there. I mean, the more you have to work with, the better, really, but everybody's got stuff that's already working. It's just a matter of realizing what you're doing. Does the training have to be parent-led? No, I mentioned this earlier, that a lot of the time parents opt to sign up and then help their children, and it's great to have the accountability of the parent-athlete duo. But if your parent's not that into it, but you are, that's totally fine. There's a separate track. You'll get an email. You'll click athlete instead of parent, and then you'll be on your way to getting the athlete-led training series. So doors are going to be closing at 10 Eastern is your last chance to get in. Sign up at PerformHappy.com. Or completeperformancecoaching.com/performhappy. And if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to tap them into the chat box, or you can email me directly. I'll put my email in the chat box. It'll be info@performhappy.com. or any questions. And there's just a testimonial that I got from a parent of a 14-year-old gymnast that you guys can take a look at. Is there a quick fix to having fear about going backwards in my gymnastics that I can do to help myself be more successful? Okay, guest 7562. Quick fix is always something that I shy away from because you want to make sure that you're making a lasting change. So it's not like you just change something once and then you'll be good to go. It's almost like an entire shift of the way you think. But here's my shortest answer possible. If you have a fear of going backwards, if it's kind of, is it a specific skill? And I'm gonna assume it's a specific skill. The best thing to do first is to take the pressure off. Instead of going, I have to get my giants so I can make it to state, which I'm hearing over and over and over from my clients. You think, I would really like to get my giants so that I can compete at state. If I don't get my giants and I don't get to compete at state, it will not be the end of the world. And you start to think about, how will I cope with it if I don't get it? And once you've legalized the ability to not get it, I know this doesn't probably make sense. The irony of being gentle with yourself with fear is that if you take the pressure off, you're way more likely to get the skill. So first step, take the pressure off. Second step, you have to back up to the progression where you feel confident. So let's say it's your giants and you are confident that you can do a cast to 45 degrees and do a baby giant, or you can do a giant in the strap bar, or you can do it with a spot. You back up to the place where you are 100% confident that you can do it. You build up your confidence from there. You get the feeling back in your body through progressions. Some people, it's a feeling thing. Some people, it's a visual thing that they need to be able to see themselves doing it, which usually through doing progressions you can get. Some people need to look at videos. Either way, you need to rebuild that image and that feeling of the skill through doing progressions where you can feel confident. And then you take a step forward, and I call these leaps of faith. So you take a leap of faith, a little tiny leap of faith into the next progression that's a little bit closer to the thing you're afraid of. Now, the thing that people do wrong is they go for the skill because they're like, I should be able to do this. I've done it before. I should be able to do it. Why can't I go for that skill? You have to back up. You have to take baby steps. So you go for the next progression, and then you build to where you have 100% confidence, and then you take a little leap of faith, not a big one, a little one, and you rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. So that's the physical component. There's also a kind of a deeper layer to fear, that there's usually something called a competing commitment. And this is something I go into in the 6-week training that we're going to be doing. It's usually there's some reason why it's benefiting you to be afraid. So that's something that we'll definitely do some work on. There are so many different things that go into fear, but that's my quickest answer, is that take off the pressure, take it back a step. And then the issue is a lot of the time kids will do that, and then they'll get their skill back and then they'll lose it again. And then they'll get their skill back and lose it again. And that is usually because there's something at the deeper layer that needs to be worked out. So I hope that answers your question and gives you an idea of something you can do in the gym. Sometimes it's negative thinking. Sometimes it's social pressures. So there's definitely a lot of things. Good, I'm glad that helped. Any other questions? I'll put it back on that website. So you can head over to PerformHappy.com and sign up anytime before 10 Eastern and get that price. And then I'm going to close the doors until May. So that I think it's May, let's see, February, March, April. Yeah, the end of April. That way we can have a really solid group of people in there working together and getting their goals. And I think that's it. So if you guys have other questions, you can go ahead and type them into the chat box, or you can email me at info@performhappy.com. And I hope that you guys will join us. And like I said, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not sure, you're welcome to come and have a peek around, ask me some questions, and see if it feels like a fit. And if not, that is okay. So thank you so much for giving me your time this evening, and I really look forward to talking with you.